When I say that our boy Hawk is in for an absolute killer season, I mean it. I genuinely, wholeheartedly believe that our boy Eli Moskowitz, one half of the Binary Brothers, is in for an absolute killer arc this season. Now, it's no secret he's barely in the trailer. Barely in it. And again, I think this is a conscious creative choice because his story is so intrinsically linked to what's about to happen to him. Now, it's been long, rumoured since way back in when Season 3 dropped that Hawk was going to get bodied. I still believe that's going to happen. I think Hawk is going to get absolutely demolished about maybe halfway through the season. Something's going to happen to Hawk. That line by Tori will probably be paid off. There will be something that happens to him, whether it's by Sean, Robby, the other Cobras. Maybe Kenny gets revenge with the rest of the Cobras. Who knows? Who knows what it'll be? But we remove that for a second and we focus specifically on what I'm about to say. In Season 3, after Robby had his fight in Juvie, he was gone for like 2 episodes. Like, he wasn't in King Cobra and he wasn't in Obstaculacos. I think I said that wrong. But he wasn't in those 2 episodes. And then episode 8 opens, they're in Juvie. And it's like, oh yeah, Robby. How great would it be if something happens to Hawk and we don't see him for a couple of episodes? And what if he shows up at the tournament as Eli? How amazing would that be? Like, think about it. Something happens to him, something terrible, that adds to his arc, that pays off all the wrongs that he's done to everyone else. How amazing would it be? You don't see him for a couple of episodes. The All Valley is upon us. They're a man down. But Hawk shows up. And think back to Season 1, when Eli changed to Hawk, and the script, he's flipping the script, and the music hit. How poetic would it be if they're about to start the All Valley, which is why you don't see Hawk in any of the shots, where Sam's doing the demonstration, Robby's doing the demonstration. Maybe the reason we don't see him in these shots is because he isn't at the All Valley at the opening. Maybe he arrives late. Before the fight start, of course, but he arrives late. And Miguel and Sam and Dimitri are willing to just, they're willing to just do whatever they have to do. Then Hawk shows up. No Mohawk. Gone. Shows up as Eli, and he says nothing. There's silence. And Miguel's like, Hawk? What are you... And he says, I'm flipping the script. Oh! Don't you get chills just thinking about that? It brings it full circle to Season 1. It pays that line off. And in Season 1, he changes from Eli to Hawk. How poetic would it be he changes from Hawk to Eli? Like, he still retains what made him a badass as Hawk. But this time he's now Eli. He's this, literally Slim Shady buzz cut. How poetic would that be? How good does that sound? Now, I don't know if they're going to do this. Again, this is just speculation. Could be dead wrong. But from the trailer, he's absent. He's not there. And even with clever editing, you can clearly see he's not in the shots. But this is what I would have happen. You have the thing happen to him where he gets repercussions for everything he's done. And he gets the smackdown put on him. He disappears for 2 episodes. We don't see him. And then you think, man, that's it, man. We've got no Hawk in this tournament. Because as I said, Hawk isn't number 1. And the plot will always hold him back. But what Hawk can be is the power move. He is that move when you're playing chess. He's the knight. He's not the king. He's not the queen. He's the knight. He's the piece that you move to change the tide. Miguel, Sam, and Robby can't turn the tide because they're number 1. The focus is all on Miguel, the focus is all on Robby, and the focus is all on Sam. Those 3. That's where the main focus is. And Dimitri is up and coming. But with regards to Hawk, he is the knight. He is the character that you move to throw the opposition off and put things back in your favour. Now, think of Season 1. He left Robby prime for Miguel to finish him off. Then in the house fight, the minute Hawk switches, the dynamic shifts. That's what Hawk is. Hawk is that power move. He's your trump card. He is the winning move. While Miguel, Robby and Sam get the credit, Hawk is the one that you play to turn the tide of the battle. That's what Hawk is. And I think that's what Hawk's going to come into this season. Pascal Music, shout out to him. He did a great musical montage of Hawk and Daniel training. And I think that's really going to happen. I think Eli will take such a liking to Miyagi-Do's system where he might even join them. I've seen that floating around. It's possible. He could join them. He could very well join them. It's not completely out the realm of possibility. As much as him and Johnny have that bond, maybe he might feel Miyagi-Do works for him. And as I said, Daniel has an affinity for broken characters and lifting them up. Look at Robby. He now has a gap in his life because Robby, his main student, has buggered off and basically said, screw you, get out of here. He will take a shine to Hawk. And that will add to the tension between Johnny and Daniel of the mixing of the students. Like, that will add to that as well. But just think about that. He gets bodied. You don't see him for like an episode or two. You get to the All Valley. Before they go through the demonstrations, you know, Sam does her one, Robby does his, Miguel does his or whatever. Devin does hers or whoever it will, whatever the case is. Under 18, All Valley, yada 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 yada. And as they're about to kick off, remember in Season 1 how Cobra Kai was the final tournament and then Robby was fighting unaffiliated? This time you give that to Hawk. You don't have him fight unaffiliated, but you have him show up at the last minute and then they're like, Hawk, what the... I'm flipping the script and he's back to Eli. Oh! Now Hawk will always be badass and I'll always love Hawk. But I think Hawk's progression is learning and... mostly in part to Dimitri. Hawk and Dimitri are polar opposites. Dimitri retained what made him a nerd and cool, while becoming a badass. He's the Neville Longbottom of the show. Hawk pushed against his passions. He pushed against his true nature, because he didn't fit in, he didn't feel cool, he felt like a loser. Like, they're polar opposites, and now that he's seen Dimitri shine, he can shine too. And the difference is still, even though Hawk switches back to Eli, it's still Hawk. It's just without the mohawk. Like, it's still Hawk. And I really would love a scene where the flip the script music plays as Eli enters the tournament. I think that would be so bloody sick. Now, guys and girls, jump in the comment section down below and let me know what you think. Would you like this to happen? Do you agree with any of the points I've raised? Because I've tried to be fair, because he's not in the trailer a lot. And even with clever editing, you can clearly see he's not there. So I've given you the justification for why he isn't. We're marching forward to 6k subs. As of right now, I am 95 away. If you haven't subscribed, this is the place for you. Marvel, Cobra Kai, Star Wars, all things pop culture, you're in the right place. And I will see you all in another video soon. And cool it with the nerd shit, huh?